information than noise. Each day, as Atlas continues its trajectory, it invites or forces us to rethink our relationship with the unknown, not just in space, but right here, where we are.
It's a Mifune? Correct. Mr. Fisk
and perhaps this is the most profound lesson it offers us.
Did you know him well before his arrest?
In a does not make professional them disappear.
Context. I handled many of his sales.
If you have read this far, it is because this type of reflection connects with you. And that is important because what we are building on this channel is not just a report of facts, but a journey to understand what it really means to live in a universe that possibly watches us. If this quest connects with you, please subscribe and like this video.
Exemplifies the traditional Tarashikomi
This is the simplest and most powerful way to stay connected to this research.
I can see why Fisk liked this.
But understand, what we show here is still superficial.
You love the duality. Destruction screams, but creation toils in silence. Was there ever anything irregular in any of the sales you handled for him? No.
The link is in the pinned comment or in the QR code.
Not that I was aware of.
But only read it if you are prepared to never see anything like it before. Because perhaps before we discover what Atlas 3D really is, we need to discover who we are when it begins to show itself. The signature of technology when nature speaks in code. There are moments in history when a discovery not only defies a set of scientific laws, but threatens the very psychological structure
a friend in the
that
DA's
underpins
office
our
mentioned
notion
that
of
Fisk
reality.
used art sales to launder stolen goods.
The slight gravitational distortion reported around 3 and Atlas is one such moment.
I was just wondering, now that he's arrested, if you had ever noticed anything
captured in
strange.
Spectacular images
you know what?
For the front page
I'm
of
actually
a
running
newspaper.
short of time. Why don't we grab the cover photo while we can? When I told my DA friend I was doing a piece on you, he mentioned your name was familiar. Just the photo, please. Stand right there.
Physics since Einstein has taught us to respect gravity as the curvature of space caused by mass.
Are you sure there's nothing you'd like to say, maybe off the record, regarding Fisk's activities?
I don't think your readers would have any interest in or extreme conditions.
Damn it.
And yet Atlas 3 exhibited a perturbation that did not fit any of the known variables.
Wait, I recognize that statue. Gotta get a photo. That shouldn't be here. Hello? Craig? Can you hear
me? But if it were artificial, we would be faced with a techno-signature of cosmic magnitude.
My dear.
Cannot be done.
Is awful. Can't go in now. Craig, she'll see me. I can...
Craig,
I'll call you back.
My dear.
My dear, I think it's time for you to go. Oh, could I use the restroom real quick? Fine, follow me. Thank you. This is a really lovely space. It is, and this will be the last time you see it. The ladies is around the corner. Be quick. Of course. Be right back.
To manipulate gravity is to manipulate the very architecture of the cosmos. It bends trajectories, distorts distances, shortens time. It's as if instead of crossing the ocean in a boat, we could bend it until both shores touch. Such power doesn't just redefine interstellar travel. It redefines
Hello?
what it means to be far
Because the reporter you sent, no. She's here now.
The idea that Atlas is just one object falls apart.
Because the reporter you sent. Hello, Craig? Because the reporter you sent. Hello, Craig?
Hello, Craig. Funny you should call. Because the reporter you sent is clearly not working the puff piece we agreed upon. No, she's here now. I forgot to get into that back room. If that statue is what I think it is, this just turned into a huge story. What do you mean he had to reschedule?
Huge story.
If she's not your reporter, who is she, Craig?
Hello?
Wait a second, Craig. What are you doing? You know what? I don't care. Get out. Now.
And thrusters. But what if its technology were not manufactured in the sense we understand?
Where was I? Oh, yes. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is have Miss Investigative Journalist arrested.
Part of the universe.
And the second thing I'm going to do is collect your head, Craig.
A veces, los mejores momentos comienzan con un clic.
In this scenario, 3 Atlas would not be a spaceship in the class. It would be a hybrid of artifacts.
It is most definitely a threat.
Biology.
Uh-huh.
They're not separate disciplines, but aspects of the a phenomenon.
Hello?
Sure, Craig.
It's disturbing because it blurs the line between natural and artificial.
Pete told me about this.
Concepts is often
Fisk used it to hide evidence.
natural. A
Why didn't the
satellite
cops take it? I know this statue opens. But how?
is a continuous spectrum where an object could arise from natural processes and overheat
I wonder if there are any clues in here. That's the Neo behind them. But it looks different.
In this context, 3ITL's techno-signature might not be the result of recent engineering, but of a functional legacy accumulated over millions of years. A living fossil that traverses...
Statue can move. Most common pose is latent power. Mouth closed, left arm down, right palm facing forward.
Restricted protocols were implemented at
Maybe these pieces move.
transmissions were encrypted, and the public narrative was softened to the point of banana. But what most disturbed those with access to the data was something else. The change in natural objects follow trajectories that obey predictable forces. It is due to collision, fragmentation, gravitational influence. But Atlas III did not collide with anything. It did not move, and it did not enter the sphere of influence of a planet capable of tugging. The deviation was gentle, calibrated, as if someone had an invisible rudder. This is the characteristic that belies any claim of chance. It was not a drastic jolt, but a millimeter adjustment, the kind of adjustment that in everyday life we recognize as a sign of intelligence. Imagine rowing down a river and to avoid a submerged rock.
The catalog mentioned two poses. Mouth closed, left arm down, right palm facing forward.
To a careful observer, this micro-deviation reveals something. Someone is steering the boat, applied to space. This gesture is only more telling because each change of route
Catalog mentioned two poses. Mouth closed, left arm down, right palm. Nice.
Another uncomfortable point.
So close.
Made that
But a
adjustment.
piece is missing.
Third destination, and that destination brought it closer to Earth. This closeness was not enough to suggest impact, but it was enough to...
I've seen these before.
That is when unofficial reports began to emerge with subtle and seemingly unrelated phenomena. Localized magnetic fluctuation, momentary interference in the ionosphere, unexplained...
That's not right.
Background noise picked up by radio telescopes. None of these effects alone constitute proof of intelligent activity, but together they form a disturbance.
But it's not the right one.
By those who insist on ignoring the bigger picture. This is where convention
Nope.
If we are looking for signs of communication, we are looking for radio waves, laser pulses, and recognizable transmissions. But what if we were faced with a completely different paradigm in which communicating does not mean sending messages, but rather manipulating one's environment to generate responses? In this case, three Atlas triggers micro-inspiration.
Norman Osborn.
Devil's breath.
What is this? Devil's breath. What is devil's... What the...
Not know that you're being listened to. If this hypothesis is correct, this is not an accidental or unilateral contact.
I was on my way to the exit.
We find ourselves in a reciprocal experiment.
You're lucky to be alive.
This is the guy I saved 5 minutes ago.
Listen, whoever these masked guys are, they're after this file. But I'll never get it out of here while the place is swarming with them.
Okay, you hide back there. I take out the bad guys. You make a break when it's clear.
Sounds like a plan.
That we may already be within an observation.
That's exactly how I picture it.
Yeah, you too. Not exactly how I pictured us meeting again, though.
Funny.
The real tension.
It's exactly how I pictured it.
Recognition phase, or whether we already move on to the next one. Whenever that.
Una lección, Jairo.
Did she change her perfume? Focus.
Una puta lección, Jairo.
Yes. All right. Of course.
Clear these guys out before I push forward.
Hello? Nieto.
It is not simply happening. It is engaging in a dialogue. The question that remains is as simple as it is impossible. Who is speaking and even more unsettling? What are you about to say on the day of the approach? When silence becomes the answer.
Hello?
Sleep it off.
Was not marked by explosions of light or phenomena visible to the naked eye. There were no headlines with dramatic images or live broadcasts showing a colossal visitor streaking across the sky. To the average citizen, the day passed like any other. But to those watching with the right instrument, that moment was like the instant in a chess game when the opponent finally touches the piece that will decide the game.
I'm hidden near the front. Give the word and I'll make a break for it.
Will do. How about that file? What's in it that these guys want so bad?
Notes on something called Devil's Breath. Fisk was hired to build a secret research lab for it. Not clear what Devil's Breath is.
MJ. Not cool with the hostage taking, guys.
Hello?
Whoa, what is up
Nieto?
with that glowing stuff on your hands? Are you guys ghosts? Never fought a ghost before. I mean,
Como odio a los coreanos.
but you know, technically specters aren't ghosts.
Como odio a los
All
coreanos.
ghosts are specters, but not all specters are ghosts. You know what I mean?
Kilometers across. The possibility
Seems like this is an energy thing, not a ghost thing. All good. Fight a ghost stays on the old bucket list.
This hypothesis is no mere speculation. In 2001, a study by the Institute for Advanced Research in Medicine analyzed the so-called collective consciousness using random number generators. During high-profile global events like 9/11 and the death of Princess Diana, these generators exhibited statistically improbable patterns, as if humanity's collective minds somehow influenced physical systems. The study is controversial, but it raises an intriguing question. If the human act of attention can generate measurable effects, why not consider that an object with unknown technology might respond in a similar way? In the case of three atoms, the oscillating pattern did not fit explanations such as solar reflection, irregular rotation, or interference from other bodies. The rhythm was deliberate, almost like a pulse, but suddenly everything stopped.
Como odio a los putos coreanos.
The brightness stabilized.
Digo,
The
franceses.
variations disappeared. It was as if, after a brief silent dialogue, the object had decided to end the conversation.
That's exactly how I picture it.
We were just in a testing phase, like when someone knocks on the door not to come in, but to check if anyone is home. And after receiving confirmation, we leave without another word. However, it does not mean disappearing. As they resumed their interstellar trajectory, Free and Atlas left behind a trail of questions and comments. History shows us that subtle visits can have lasting effects. In 1997, for example, the Cassini probe flew by Jupiter and for a few days Earth-based detectors picked up micro variations in the magnetic field that were only
Daily
explained
cardio?
years later.
Check.
Small encounters can have unexpected consequences. And in the case of Free and Atlas, any changes at least
I just talked to Craig. You are not the reporter he was sending. You don't even work for Heritage Arts.
Never said I did. Hi, Mary Jane Watson, Daily Bugle.
You will not write a word of what you saw
For the
here.
record, what do you know about the file those masked men stole?
That... I don't...
What about the long history of stolen goods Fisk has laundered at this auction house?
Your editor will be hearing from our attorney.
No quedó listo, Doc.
But behind the scenes,
No estoy viendo.
the creation of a new study division dedicated exclusively to intelligent response anomalies, a term that in itself betrays the seriousness with which the case was being treated. This type of reaction is not unprecedented. During the Cold
No estoy
War,
viendo.
secret programs were conducted to observe UFOs and unidentified aerial phenomena under highly confidential protocol. Documents declassified decades later revealed that, even in the absence of conclusive evidence, governments prioritized maintaining narrative control
me.
to prevent panic
What's with the
or
units heading down third?
speculation.
Looks like our old friend Herman Schultz
The
is
case
at
of
it again.
3 and Atlas seems to
Shocker.
follow the same
Didn't he
logic.
just get paroled?
Control the story before
Yeah,
the story
well,
controls
guess
you.
it didn't take.
No
But
worries.
then, just
Herman's
when
just
it
a big
seemed like the
cunt.
dust had
I'll have him
settled,
back
No
in
estoy
work by
viendo.
bedtime.
unexpected happened. An Australian
Just
radio
had dinner with my
telescope
ex after
specializing
saving
in
her from
monitoring
masked
cosmic
criminals.
background signals
And
picked
now
up
I'm gonna go
Una
beat up a
lección, Jairo, una
maniac who
puta
uses
lección.
shockwaves to rob people. What a perfectly normal life you have, Peter Parker.
It coincided, according to calculation, with the
You will
time
not
Atlas
write a
needed
word
to
of
travel
what you
the
saw
distance
here.
between Earth and Mars. Coincidence, perhaps.
All units
but
on alert.
temporal synchrony
Report of a
is the type of
kidnapping.
detail that
Peter,
generates
I just wanted
suspicion
to
in
check.
intelligence
We'll
analysis.
hear from our attorney.
If it
You
were
haven't left any equipment
many
you've built for
experts
your
believe it was,
No quedó listo, Doc.
around the lab. It's no bother to me, but if the grant committee stops by again,
Don't worry, Doc. I make a point not to leave anything there. But I know my friend appreciates you looking out for
No
him.
quedó listo, Doc.
There's a lot of people who don't like him very much.
that buffoon Jameson and his audience of sheep, please. The people who do great things in this world are those who don't let bullies like him stand in their way. People like us.
You said a mouthful, Doc. Take care.
In this case, 3 and Atlas could be a messenger without a messenger, a piece of technology that continues to function by inertia, following the instructions of a civilization that has already disappeared. There is another even more disturbing fact that the transmitter is still active and receiving, which implies that they now know that we are here attentively with our eyes and instruments fixed on the sky. At this point, it is inevitable to think of historical patterns. In 1977, a famous W signal was captured by the Big Ear radio telescope in Ohio. A 72-second sequence of unusual
4 años
intensity,
de putas
never
pláticas.
repeated, never explained. At the time, many
Después del
speculated
tributo a la puta
that it
Zendaya.
could be interstellar communication.
La perra
Lack
Holland
of repetition caused the signal to be forgotten.
chillándole a la puta Zendaya en el puto edificio. No quedó listo, Doc.
The tension increases because there is no way to test these hypotheses without the simple act of testing them being part of the experiment itself. It is the observer's dilemma magnified on a cosmic scale. From the moment we respond, we cease to be mere observers and become participants. And this participation can have implications that go beyond astronomy. Consider the history of the first European expeditions to America. Many native cultures
Primera vez, Doc.
divine phenomena or omens without immediately understanding that they represented contact with another civilization. The impact was not only physical, but also cultural,
Primera vez, Doc.
spiritual, and in many cases devastating.
Primera vez, Doc.